Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up for today. I'm Jerry Small, your host, and we broadcast from University Campus here, New Start 93 Studios. And today is what? The 17th of July. I might, in case I forget tomorrow, in case I forget tomorrow we're doing an outside broadcast. It might be hectic and quite a different pace and tone and agenda. I might forget. Tomorrow is Milky birthday, Milky. Our brethren, man, our Rasta brethren from down on Marvally and about them place, Mullines Road. Milky. And all different kind of place. Milky. Milky birthday tomorrow. Milky, what a good natured human being. Some good natured human being we have about the place now, male and female. Them nature is to be good. And them not really have a mean bone in them still. To Zaki. Zaki? Zaki, I still remember him name, man. Zaki. Next brethren from down on Marvally Road, Marvally Avenue there. Yes, man, tomorrow is Milky birthday from Charter 15 and 12 Tribe Milky that. Hail Milky and tell him say we all wish him all the best when you see him tomorrow for his birthday. Milky that is. Well, about 3 different incidents here that draw attention, all of them involving hospitals or medicine. This what name? Chikungunya. I don't know if I pronounce it. Chikungunya or some kind of virus that's going around, very dangerous. And then there's a mission, a medical mission down here. What is the name of them again? A medical mission. What is the name? I don't remember what the name of them. Week here medical mission. Carrying out some medical treatment down in Clarendon there. As usual. Jamaican professionals, medical professionals, as well as foreign professionals coming down here and dispensing medical care and medicine and all different kind of help, glasses, all kind of thing. So this one named Week here. I forget the name of the lady. She's a nurse, Jamaican nurse who come here from time to time. Along with some foreign professionals. I think these are the same people that Richard Azan was feeling grouchy about how they were treated, because them come here to help and then now some of them medicine and them medication seized at the airport and held in custody. I don't know what reason, if it's a good reason or what. And Azan was saying the other day, licking out about the treatment of them and apparently connecting it with the IMF dictate, because I was saying IMF run Jamaica government and take over the country. And I know some of them cabinet fellows and other government people and fellow people and party probably never like when them lick out that way, but him kind of independent of them, no matter what. They need him more than how him need them. The PNP need Azan more than how Azan need them. Because if them fool around up in that region of Jamaica, middle of Jamaica, especially northern middle, and if them fool around and get Azan grouchy, they might lose about 3 or 4 seats another year there. So him do have to cover him out when him attack. So I think this is the same group now that was helping out people in Azan constituency. Matter of fact, I think they came here in connection with him and his constituent him people. So that is one thing the medical and the hospital thing that draw attention. As well as the man who get killed same place in Clarendon. A man get killed in Clarendon. A patient in the hospital get killed by police in the hospital. Instead of them get cure, them say believe kill and believe cure. But it look like I don't only believe kill and believe cure. It look like hospital cure, hospital kill. Because the man get killed in the hospital instead of get cure. And it is dubious. The same thing that I suspected and I talk about it either yesterday or the day before in the program. If you notice how after them kill the man and many other killings like these, everybody shut up. All who's supposed to be telling you how the thing goes, shut up. Doctor shut up, not talk. Nurse shut up, not talk, and I look two side and not talk. Patient who's supposed to see what go on, not talk. All the patient who them claim him attack, not talking. The police not talking. Nobody talking. All who involved not talking. Because them know say some lies being told. And a murder was committed. So everybody closing ranks and not talking. And the same thing I say now, without knowing too much about it. And then I see that the demonstration portrayed on the TV last night is the same thing the people down in the East Clarendon I say. So when them go up there, all the man brother, when them go up there, nobody talking. The nurse not talking to him, the doctor not talking to him, the patient who's supposed to get attacked not talking to him, the police not talking, none of them. Following the government example of not talking. That is the default setting of this government, you know. Don't talk, don't communicate nothing, and ignore people. That's the default setting. In other words, that's the standard setting. Where you revert to, where you stay at, and if anything, if you even go outside it and start talking, it start bring some result. You shut up and go back to that. Revert to what? The default setting. Nobody not talk. And smug and smiling and sneering. I don't know who sneer more after them not talk. Whether it's the Minister of Information or the Minister of Security. After them not talk and pure lie. When you take a stock, when them done now and get through and sit down back, you see them a sneer. Sneer. And a pat. But so that is the next. What was the third hospital thing that drew my attention? I'm trying to remember. But just by chance I caught a documentary of Howard Cook life on the TV last night. You know, Howard Cook passed away, previous Governor General, retired Governor General. Matter of fact, I think he was forced into retirement. And things that he said on the documentary confirm my suspicion that he wouldn't go along with certain things, and that's why they had to force him away. Because they were trying to carry out unconstitutional things, and Howard Cook was not going to sanction it. Try watch that documentary and you'll find out what I've been talking about for years now, from 2006. That they had to arrange something for Portia Simpson Miller to be declared Prime Minister, not according to the Constitution, and Howard Cook couldn't go along with it. Oh yes, the third thing is that the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, the administration of the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, I killed two birds with one stone. Because if we cut down expenses now, some of the janitors, the people who have to keep the place. Janitor come from the word Janus, I believe, you know, Janus, which means door, or doorway. So the people them will keep the door and keep the doorway, and you know, them call them janitor. That's why them call January, you know, because it's supposed to be the doorway, or Janus. Them say Janus are the god of what? Entrances. For them God, you know, them have thousands of gods. So one of them God named Janus. That are the god of entrances where guard them doorway. You know, them love to deal with guard and gathering. And la guard are them gathering. La guard are Portia gathering, you know. So Janus now is the god or god of doorway. So January now we start the new calendar. Rome bringing a new calendar and switch up the calendar, you know. So them start the calendar in January now. So them claims that January is the first month. Is a doorway from the whole year to the new year. So that's why them call it January, after Janus, the god of Janus. And when you look at the picture of Janus, for them god of doorway or god of entrances, it's a two-faced god. One face I look back into the whole year, and one face I look into the new year. Janus. Isn't it true, Mr. Marriott? Louis Marriott is here to my delight. Louis Marriott is here with us today again to my delight. And you're going to hear more from him and less from me, because we have him for the whole day. But anyway, St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Janitors who are supposed to take care of the building and take care of the cleanliness of the building and that kind of thing, they are now going to be put to be serving food, probably on the same shift. Probably on the same shift, double tasking, multitasking. And anyway, them done brush, or if them not done, if them not done sweep out the place and the food ready to be served, and probably have to drop the broom and run and go take up the plate and go serve without wash them hands, because that will be cheaper for the hospital administration. So instead of the hospital cure, maybe the hospital kill you, because the germs going to spread easier. If you're going to work the people harder, them don't get no time to go wash them hands. I went into a food place up to yesterday. It's against the law for a place to be serving ready to eat food and not have lavatory there. From a business places serving ready to eat food, the law demands that they must have a lavatory there for people to wash their hands and people to use the toilet, customers and the staff. And yet so many thousands of places in Jamaica selling ready to eat food. I don't mean food in a package or food in a box. Once they're selling ready to eat food, cook food, or even snack, and people can sit down and eat. They're supposed to have lavatory there, toilet, for people to use the toilet. But the government not really maintaining that care and guarding the people of Jamaica. It's not just complaint we have, you know. Not only complaint we have, but you must examine and realize all that is being shortchanged. You know, when you go to a place and them short a change deliberately, when somebody forget to give you a change, that's a different thing from when somebody shortchange you. The government and the politician deliberately shortchange you and rob you. As a trick. Not forget to give you a change, shortchange you and con you. There are more than a lot of scammers. It's a professional thing. And we're not complaining, we are examining where our money has gone. That's why people don't love pay tax, you know. Because even when you pay tax, what are you getting out of your tax dollar? 1 cent. You're getting a 1 cent out of your tax dollar. Anyway, St. Anne's Hospital I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Maybe kill 2. And I give them no bad name, you know. Just like how we don't give Michael no bad name. Up to yesterday we have praised up Michael. Because he don't at Cornwall Regional is changing the situation from the DUICR Michael. We don't like Smile on a Friday and pay people their money. To Michael who is guaranteeing the nurses proper treatment, proper pay and pay on time. So we're not giving St. Anne's Hospital no bad name. When we say they might be killing 2 patients with 1 stone. But the fact is that to cut down money, they are assigning people to do both janitor work and food serving work in one. It was great the other day that they send off our Dennis Daly, that great human rights, human being and lawyer, to hear the president of the Bar Association in describing the kind of character that Dennis Daly had and explaining some of the reasons why a person like Dennis Daly works so fearlessly and tirelessly and take less money for his family and giving more free care to people. The president of the Bar Association made a quotation to help explain why people like Dennis Daly are driven that way and are glad to be driven. Him quote from Haile Selassie. But he made the quotation, you know, but I know who he must quote him from is when him finish him tell the people who him quoting from. And it's roughly speaking, Haile Selassie told the United Nations that for evil to survive and prosper, all it takes is for good people to keep quiet. So Haile Selassie was warning people that all when you're good and you say, alright, you're keeping quiet because you're not a troublemaker like Jerry. You're just a good person and you're not a troublemaker. You're a decent person and you throw collection when you go to church and that kind of way. All it needs is for good people to keep quiet and then evil prosper and spread more. So when you're boasting how you keep quiet and you're well behaved, consider whether your keeping quiet is allowing evil to spread more. But life, you know, you are giving life free. You are giving life free now. The gift of God is life. The gift of good. Life, you get life free. And the life is the most precious thing. Life. Having a part of a creator. That is life, you know. Having a part of creator. And you get a year you get in addition to get life free. You get the permission to conduct your life. That's great, you know. You get life and then you're authorized to conduct your life. Isn't that great? That's what them call conduct, you know. That's why people look for your conduct. Because your conduct means simply how you conduct your life. You get your life free and everybody's life value the same. Some people stay in a one flesh or in one piece longer than some. Did Jesus Christ only stay in a one piece 33 years? There is not length of days, but it's the quality of life. So you get life free and then you also get authority to conduct your life. That's beautiful. Try remember that all the while. You are authorized to conduct your life. And when I mean say you have to go on like saint, you know, but the conduct of your life is beautiful. That's like how you conduct orchestra. So you get the authority to conduct your life, you know. You conduct your life like how somebody with a conduct orchestra, everything nice. But you know that criminality invade almost every apartment of life and every department of life. Criminality. And one thing you must be on guard of if you want to live a good life. Be on guard against criminality getting involved in your affairs. Criminality get involved in a politics and control. And I don't say the head of the party, you know. But criminality intertwined so much in the politics that it more control the party more than how the party leader control the party. So more time them say they are helpless, boy, you can't get rid of these things. That's what them say now. Can't get rid of these things, you know. So through that now criminality control the party. Criminality control the security forces, not at the head, but control, intertwine. Criminal, and it's minorities. These are minorities. Don't mean the majority of people involved in criminality. But the criminality has a network. Criminals network more than good people. Don't hear what Haile Selassie tell quiet? For evil to prosper, all it needs is for good people to keep quiet and don't link up with one another. Because evil go and link up with one another. Meanwhile, me and you not linking up with one another. And that's all evil need to prosper. Let's go for a break, straight up. Yes, good morning. Welcome back to Straight Up. As I tell you, I have Louie Marriott here with me again. And at more length. And from time to time, you will hear from him before we start the full interview at about 10:15. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Yeah, morning, Jerry.
How you doing?
Well, thank God for life. We can speak.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. That incident when you were talking, it's not at the Maypen Hospital incident happening.
It's where?
It's the Mandeville Hospital.
Mandeville Hospital. My apologies to Maypen. My apologies to Maypen.
I didn't say that happened at the Maypen Hospital, but about 3 years ago.
Yes,
4 years.
it's true.
A similar incident like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much for that. Yes, sir?
Yeah, man. Cool.
All right. All the best. We have another call. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello. Are you there?
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. Yesterday I called you and I was telling you about Holy Ghost, but you did rough me. I beg you a little brother today.
No, it's not rough or roughing up. I was asking you if you are the Holy Ghost or when you heard from the Holy Ghost.
No, but 1 Corinthians chapter 6 says your body, the Christian body, is the temple of the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
And if you're a Christian and your body is not the temple of the living, the Holy Ghost, as many are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. So everything what you do, you must be led by God. You understand?
Sir, I understand. Yes, sir.
All right. What I want to say is, sir,
Yeah.
Michael Manley dead and gone, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember I never used to follow politics. I'm 70 now, and I don't remember any bad way him do, but I remember something where him do where I feel good about. You understand?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. And him say if you have a friend,
Yeah.
and the friend wrong,
Yeah.
and you don't tell the friend say him wrong, well, he's not your friend.
Yes.
And I believe that because of the homosexual, the people, the PMP people, let the good deeds be wrongly spoken of. I can tell you why I say so.
Yeah.
And the police, them know, don't ask which community, going in certain communities, and they carry out the little boy, them, and, train them, and I can't tell them talk, I train them to save him, can't get little manners. That is good, sir.
See if them can't get liquor?
Well, me don't know. Me don't know about put it around. Me was saying manners out of them,
Oh, yes. Them are groom them. Them are groom them. I want to turn them in a bridegroom.
No, but listen.
Or bride.
Listen to me now.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of the little boy last night.
One of which little boy?
We go on the...
Better you talk to them a day and keep a distance.
No, listen to me, because they come where I am. Not my yard, somebody else, and I was there, so I question them. You listening to me?
Don't let them come at your yard.
No, sir. So listen to me now.
Yes.
Hear what the little boy is saying to me.
Yes, sir.
That other youth in the group
Yes.
bringing homosexual advance to
him.
the group.
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So, although I believe what the police is doing is good,
Yeah.
because I was saying that when them old school and the holiday, they should go somewhere and learn something in the meanwhile, and I said that is good. But if the mother have to sign and other youth is there and bringing homosexual arguments to the group, that is dangerous.
Yes.
Yes. So the good deed is wrongly spoken of, and true, me don't hate them. Now tell them, say them, so the Bible said the poor man voice is not heard, but the rich man is heard by fool, like who is ruled by, among fools.
So the yes. So the poor man need a voice at the workplace.
Everywhere, man. But his voice is not heard.
All right, I have to go now. There is a man here who have a lot of authority about Michael Manley. Know him very well. And a lot of what you said here, I agree with and so on. Mr. Louis Marriott, that's a very interesting call, not true?
Very, very. And I noticed the references to Michael, yes.
Yes.
Very great Jamaican, I think.
Yes. He's not the Archangel, Michael, but
no.
Him still do.
Yeah, he had his feet of clay.
Yes, yes.
But on balance.
Yeah.
An extremely positive person. Very genuine. He loved this country, I can tell you.
Yeah.
I saw him shed tears one day.
Yeah.
For love of country. It was they were celebrating the first anniversary of the revolution which brought the new Prime Minister to office. When they triumphed over Gary.
Bishop, yes, in Grenada.
Yes. And Michael was the guest speaker, put on as a guest speaker for the anniversary celebration.
In Grenada.
That's right. Dudley Thompson and I went 2 days before him. And I was going as his press secretary to go to see what kind of arrangements had been made for coverage and, to play my part in whatever was required. And Dudley, I think Dudley was the Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time, not absolutely certain of this. But he did have a stint as Minister of Foreign Affairs. And I believe it would have been...
Yeah, man, I'm almost sure, 1979, 80.
80. This was in... This was in 80.
80, 1 year.
And Michael was coming, the compliments of Daniel Ortega, who was the president of Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, yes.
And he was picked up at Norman Manley by...
Nicaraguan plane.
Yes. And came down by Learjet. And Dudley and I went out to the airport.
In Grenada.
That's right. To see him in and take him to his protocol house. Each of the leaders of the states represented there was given a protocol house to him. And we took him back to the house, and he asked us, had we heard about the incident in Olympic Gardens the previous night?
Yeah.
When some 11 persons, I believe, were slaughtered. And we said, no, we hadn't heard it. Because it was early morning on the day after. And he said, you are a writer. Turn to me, you are a writer. Wouldn't you say that Jamaica's a bleeding corpse? And before I even got a chance to respond, he said, if that's what it takes to win or retain power in Jamaica, I want no part or lot of it.
At that time, the JLP and the CIA would have been yapping at him heels.
Well, I don't want to call them any names.
No, yapping. It's the yappies them down in the Olympic there.
Yes.
Was running the place red in 1980. But I have to go to 2 phone calls. But there's so much you have to tell us.
Yeah, but what the main part of it is that when he said that, and I looked at him, there were tears streaming down his face.
Yeah, 1980, red hot.
And I read it to mean that he didn't really want to win the 1980 election.
But I know, and I have spoken of it, and many people have spoken of it, that the PNP, the more insightful of the PNP and Michael Manley did not want to, they wanted to have a death wish, not to die, but to lose the election.
Yeah,
because things was getting hot. And Magian went, and then them go swear in my brethren old bank at the upper Garden Town, and when Hugh Small go to Port Royal, pure gunshot, them have to run up and down. Them want to leave. I have to go to 2 phone calls. We have to come back to Louis Marriott. He has so much to tell us. Good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello? Good morning, welcome, Straight Up, hello?
Hello?
Yes, welcome. I think we lost a phone call, but Louis Marriott, we have to hear from him spontaneously. Good morning, welcome.
Morning, Mr. Smart.
Yes, sir, how are you doing?
There.
Mr. Brown?
Smart, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Smart.
Yeah.
You listen to Light Dog sometime one time?
No, I don't get to hear my man time.
I notice him do something where him not for doing.
What station is he on?
Him depend the station where you always depend at night.
All right. Yes. What is he doing that him shouldn't do?
I notice him start every time I criticize the people when they congregate up half a tree.
Oh.
And I talk about the people and I fight against gay. I never hear the people and fight against a gay, you know, sir.
No, you see, lied about axe to grind.
Because you know mean what is with lied now.
Yeah.
Lied is a man who look like him sympathize with the gay them.
No, him don't only sympathize them, him represent them. That don't mean that him is gay, you know. Because your MP don't live in your area. Most of your MP don't come from here.
That's why I must represent people where is doing a wrong.
You can tell, no, but you can't tell people what to stand for, who to defend. You can't tell people.
I agree with that, but hear me no, man.
Yeah.
The people them never go off a go fight against a gay, you know. The people, the gay them set up themselves.
Yes, they did.
Man can't talk. That's why the man
not the gay. I wouldn't say the gay them, you know. I would have said the homosexual lobby.
Yeah.
Because the homosexual militants, you know, is not the entire homosexual community.
No.
But about most of the homosexual community, wish them would have keep quiet and stop make so much trouble for them. But the one them will love power and we're determined for rule. Them want the on top.
Yes, it's them. And the one lied look like him in sympathy with them because I listen to him and I look while the man bring up that topic and criticize.
No, it's part-time work. It's part-time work. But you see the gathering arbitrary, it have them fretting. And it's not just the homosexual lobby it have fretting. It have the government of Jamaica fretting, the governing party fretting.
Fret.
Yes, sir. I have to go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. Hello. Good morning. Alright, we lost a couple phone calls there, but that happens from time to time. Yes, Louie, 1980, that was red hot time. And look here, Bishop modeled him political career and him personality in later years on Michael Manley.
Well, I can tell you, I put together the first speech through Michael, the first speech that Bishop made in an international gathering. What happened was that he carried to the non-aligned conference in Havana in '79. You remember that that was a rather significant event.
Yes.
You know, you have Fidel.
It's come like the Tricontinental non-aligned conference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was a non-aligned conference.
Yeah.
And Bishop carried quite a team
Yeah.
of debutants with him.
Yes.
And he had his speech written out on maybe 5 or 6 kinds of material, including table napkins.
Yes.
People said that, you know.
Yes.
And the back of envelopes and
Jottings, yeah.
And Michael called me and said to me, help Maurice with his speech for me. He was a sort of mentor for Bishop, without a doubt.
Yes.
And so I had to get it all, put it all together. And then we wrote a script. But it was coming from various persons in his delegation.
Yes. Yes, good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello. Morning, welcome, Straight Up, hello. Just had another call here, last that one. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello. Come along, please. Right, Louis, from time to time I might have to cut you abruptly because some of the phone call credit run fast.
Okay. Yes.
We have some text messages.
That's understood.
Yes. Jerry, was Willie Haggart a real bad man? Yes, I think you would say so. In every sense of the word. Bad man meaning rough house. And bad man meaning do bad things. And I think he must be proud of that. And a Haggart and a hog heart. Or someone boasts that them a dog heart. And someone go even further and say them a hog heart. Good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello.
Good morning, Jerry.
Welcome, how you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother.
Go ahead, bless now.
Jerry, the other day I feel so good when I hear a youth call you and tell you say you save him from certain things.
Yeah.
You remember that youth?
Yes, man, so I'm not all bad then.
But Jerry, you want to get better. You understand? You want to reach more youth like those.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of youth out there like that youth that need to be reached. And instead of you have your time, I read mine, because that's all you do, I read the people in mine.
And
you understand?
Yes, and the youth say when we read the people mind, it help him. But you say we must stop.
Jerry, all you do is you wake up, you talk about the government, you criticize. Talk the things them positive, man, where that youth, because Jerry, it's the first time I start to listen to you. I say, yeah man, that man sound good.
Yeah.
But up until this year, that man not have none of way to say we meet up a month time, a week time, and you come and tell the people them what's going on and what we are doing.
Yeah.
And I try. We not, as you say, you're not help the government. You're not help the government. You have to help your brother and sister them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And now we put the government there, so we have to try to help them out, because them alone cannot do it. You understand? So you need to just start. Jerry, next thing. You see Mr. Ellington?
Well, you say me if you come wrong and bring like a cornflake on them thing there?
Yeah, man.
Jerry,
you see Mr. Ellington now?
Yeah.
You ever hear them say, cock mouth kill cock?
If I hear...
If mouth kill him.
What
because as a big community like him, we're supposed to have the people protect the people and then him will come on TV and say, Vibes Cartel response to 100 and something murder, and he must say it with pride and bold like him know, yes, it's true. And then the American government will say one side and say, you sit on one side and make 100 articles, and then you just come out and attack like it's nothing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
So all them could think the way I talk, he put himself in a trouble. Because when me hear that, I say, I can't believe him really come out come say so.
Alright, me understand it. What your MP name?
Every day I come with this. Alright. You know the area where shop me live?
Yeah.
Where name? Paul. Where name Paul what?
You try to catch me, man. You try to trick me. Alright, next call. Go on, laugh. Man, don't laugh. Alright. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello. She's there. Somebody else is there. Good morning. We have some text messages again. Good morning, Jerry. Did you watch All Angles last night on TV? Who was the guy sitting in the middle of the panel representing? Music or some other special interest group? That guy is a guy who deal with music business for internet and all them kind of way. And you know that. And you try pin our name upon him. And you trying to get me involved with you pinning our name upon the guy. Or you try to get me involved. Me not pin on no tail upon no donkey. That's a party game. Where you do you blindfold people and tell them to pin on nail upon donkey and all them way there. Why you want me to pin on label upon the guy? Come to the girl with the side of him. What's the name? ZJ Sparks. And the next man the name what's my brother's name again, man? Clyde Mackenzie. Why you want pin on tail upon the guy for? Clyde Mackenzie, man. No, the big man on the right. No, that's the lady. ZJ Sparks on one side. Then the guy where want be pin on tail upon in the middle. And Clyde Mackenzie over the other side, man. You bet me? I bet you US 1 cent. You have bills there? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Good morning.
What a beautiful little voice. Good morning. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
I want to big up my grandma.
Yes.
Big up my grandma, please.
Yes, you are a little girl. Don't you are a little girl?
Yeah, 12.
You are 12. And what is your name?
Sybil.
Sybil?
Yeah, Thomas.
Sybil, boy. Yeah, I hardly hear little girls have that beautiful name again. What's your grandma's name?
She's always listening to your program.
Is her birthday?
Morning.
Is it her birthday?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
What's her name?
Miss Scott. Sybil Scott.
Sybil. Oh, what's your name? What is your name?
Sybil Thomas.
You name Sybil too?
Yes.
And she named Sybil Scott?
Yes.
That's beautiful. It's mostly modern name we hear people have, like Tekisha and Mekisha and Teblisha and Shiblisha. But it's an old time name. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
What, you go to school in Kingston?
No, in Portland.
Portland.
GSAT.
You just did GSAT?
Yes.
And you were successful, not true?
Yeah.
And you go to the school of your choice? You going to the school of your choice?
Yeah, my first choice.
Not Titchfield?
Yes.
How many brides, sir? You know, so I'm going to start the GSAT next time, you know. Thank you very much. Big up Grandma Sybil Scott.
Yes, bye.
Thank you very much. How you get to listen to this program?
When she's listening to it.
That's beautiful. Boy, you make her feel so good. Thank you very much. All the best in your continued success. Here, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning. We have another call. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Not so bad. Jerry, I want to ask you a guest a question. What is his name?
What is what?
Your guest name.
My guest, Mr. Louie Marriott.
Mr. Louie, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, look, I would like to ask you something. Could you tell me something about Green Bay? And could you tell me something about the shot that come from Cuba, the gunshot, the whole lot of gunshot to kill rabbit?
The bullet.
And also, if any gun did come with them, could you please explain to the people, let us sit back and listen to what you have to say about that.
All right.
I'm not.
Those shots did come.
I'm not an expert by any means in these matters.
But you there was working with Dudley Thompson. And I know what Dudley Thompson and Michael Manley always doing this country here.
Come on.
This
Look,
country upside down.
no, chat, that is total nonsense.
Nonsense.
No, allow him. No, allow him a little. Allow him, please.
Total nonsense.
Dudley Thompson.
Please allow him. Please allow him. Please allow him. Don't hang up, Please don't hang up. You hear? Hold on, let me ask you something because I'm going to mention Marriott because news soon come. Hello, hello? Hello? I was going to ask the person if that is their real voice because it sounds like one of them voice. One of them voice. I don't even know if it's a lady or a man, or if it's a lady voice or if it's a man voice. But Mr. Marriott, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, people hold me responsible for what Dudley Thompson does.
Yeah.
I haven't seen, Dudley Thompson is a public figure whom I've seen on television and so on.
Yeah.
I happen to have had dealings with Dudley Thompson because he was a member of Michael Manley's cabinet, and I was press secretary to Michael Manley.
Yeah.
But I would think that I have not spent more than a few hours, 3 or 4 hours maybe, of my life in Dudley Thompson's company.
Yeah, but they want to pin that tail on a donkey that don't belong to you.
Once Wilmot Perkins called me, and first of all he referred to me as Comrade Marriott. I'm not Comrade Marriott.
Straight up. Yes, welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. I'll soon come to your phone call, almost right away. But I never got a chance to look at the Gleaner earlier. When I look at it in the little break there, I see headline, Bruce lashes United States. Former Prime Minister claim America has no moral authority to penalize Jamaica for human rights abuse. Now, I am not defending the human rights abuses of the police force or of the government in other ways, which are many. But what Golden says is quite true. And I want to read some of it some more, but I don't want to drop your phone call. Speaking yesterday, Bruce Golden referred to a country that has reserved to itself the right to dispatch drones, that is plane that to have no pilot, and go and extrajudicially go and kill people, go and kill persons who it alleged to be terrorists, in the process kill civilians, including children. And plenty of action like that by the United States government. And it's true what I'm saying. Bruce Golden come like a leader for the opposition. Him come like him get active again and become leader for the opposition. When he is Prime Minister, him not talk that way still now. And the Prime Minister of Jamaica now not talking that way, they more comply with US. But Bruce Golden not in office, him talking that way. So it coming like him a leader for the opposition. even more than wholeness. But yes, we know that there are human rights abuses by the police and so on. But this is the action of superpowers. That's why we must clean up our actions, you know. That's why we have to take no dictatorship from no superpower. We must clean up our action, clean up the police force down here, and clean up the government. The government want to clean up even more than the police force. The government needs to be cleaned out even more than the police force. And when the people of Jamaica do that, that I don't have to take no dictation from no hypocritical nation. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Okay.
Morning, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Good morning, and I want to give God thanks for today.
Yes, ma'am.
Waking me up this morning.
Yeah, ma'am.
And for a beautiful sunshine we have here. Good morning to Mr. Marriott also.
Yes, yes.
Today, I want to say thank God for Jamaica, a beautiful island home, Jamaica in the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah.
And I know my God will keep us and protect us. Now this the commissioner's thing, right?
Yeah.
He's saying this and saying that, and what I don't believe in what Bunting said at all, because I'm what in Parliament on Tuesday. I believe the march the other day,
Yeah.
the gathering at Halfway Tree,
Yes.
has a lot to do with the commissioner's dismissal, you know.
Explain it.
I believe that because of this anti-thing, the march on behalf of Professor Bain, the anti-gay thing, because you know that the United States is heading towards that, because I think New York is the latest state that
Heading towards what? Heading towards what?
The gay marriage.
America not heading towards it. America have gay marriage.
I know, and they are heading towards that, and they want it. Yeah, the whole world.
So what that have to do with? So what that have to do with commissioner? What that have to do with Halfway Tree?
Because I believe that they thought that the commissioner should have stopped the march or something. Should have stopped it. You know?
Where you get that from?
My thinking. Why was the drone over the whole place?
The drone them, oh.
Huh?
Or is the drone now make you connect those dots?
Right. Why was it, hovering over the whole place there? Right? And this is, I think they're getting uncomfortable, they're getting nervous about this thing now, that Jamaicans are...
Hold on.
Right?
United States getting nervous that Jamaica do it.
Do you remember this?
No, finish your sentences. If you don't finish your sentence, you're not...
Hold
on. Allow me a little, please. If you don't finish your sentence, you're not going to finish your thought. So finish your sentence that America getting nervous about what?
That Jamaicans are anti-gay.
Then, hold on. Jamaicans being anti-gay going to make America get nervous? If America pass gas upon Jamaica, America blow away. If Jamaica pass gas upon Jamaica blow away. Jamaica not make them.
No, let me tell you something, man. Jamaica.
Oh, you mean like Jamaica coming like a flea in them?
Strong people, you know. Jamaicans are strong people, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
And we are like the Cuba.
It will spread, it's true.
Until the end, you know.
It's true.
We will fight until the bitter end, you know. Jamaicans, you know.
It's
if
true.
we are determined, as we are prepared to do, we will fight regardless of America, regardless of whatever nation.
Yeah.
We will fight until the bitter end, you know.
And you will fight too.
I will fight.
Yeah.
I will fight. Because they think that they want to bring on to us, and they want us to bow down to. The gay marriage thing, it's not going to work in Jamaica. Remember when this ambassador came here, this woman, what is her name? I don't remember, but water.
Yeah, Bridgewater.
And when the gays demonstrated out in New Kingston there, I am the one who came out and lashed out that she should be recalled, because we didn't want anything like that in Jamaica. She came here to support gays, right? Because she supported the gays when they demonstrated in New Kingston.
All right.
I lashed out against that she should be recalled. We didn't want her here.
All right.
You understand me?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Now, I want to talk about Northwest Central Elizabeth, you know.
Yes, but...
Northwest Central Elizabeth.
Yeah, but listen here. Call back again, because you get a little overtime. Hello? Call back again soon. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah. As a student in studying and meeting members of the Palestinian, the PLO, you know, I did something that...
As a student where?
In Cuba, studying political science. I went to my delegation and said, well, when I establish diplomatic relations and recognize Palestine as a country, and it caused consternation because I was a student, but I followed the thing from my friend them I tell me say like a G guy yesterday. G as in the J flag thing. I run up him mouth, follow me and have the thought I'm a one. I want to like a G guy that cost Bunting every day and I call Bunting monkey like him want me the vine for anyhow.
Then what happened to the G guy them in your party?
We talk about like a G1 a company program yesterday, second time.
I heard that. I heard that.
No, what me call you for talking
No, but
about?
hold on, no. You throw stone outside because hold on. Lyndon Johnson say no. Him draw in a guy in a cabinet and them say, how you drawing that G guy there? And Lyndon Johnson says better to have him inside urinating out than to have him outside urinating into the tent. So that's why I ask you know what happened to the G guy them in your party.
I don't know of any. But what me I try to talk about is this.
But you're smiling. Why you smiling? Hello, why you smiling? Hello. Hello, why you smiling? Hello, why you smile on a Thursday? Why you smiling?
I smile all the time. Every time I call in, I smile.
I can't. It's true. That's how calling me.
As the lady said, the United States.
Hold on. As a calling me sweet, you.
Yeah, man.
So like your call.
The United States are go around with them big stick policy, right?
Yeah. You know them man. Them big stick.
For the black right now.
Them big stick in them man.
Black in the United States and walk by a tin of iced tea and some sweet. A white boy can come out and shoot it down like an animal and go out and get away. So when the United States must look internally, I never, yesterday them show you 4 policemen fire 54 rounds in a FBI informant and kill him and still up on duty 54 rounds.
Alright, well let me ask you something now. Then how your prime minister and your minister them just a go along PP clock a lapdog for the United States?
Them now go no, but you are make statement. Them now go along and like lapdog. You are make statement about if them sneeze, we see that not.
I didn't say sneeze. I said pass gas.
Not no go so.
I didn't say sneeze.
No go so. Cause Manley stand up and tell the rule like go in my yard. Although me hear people fabricate, go and tell him so. Manley said go your yard can come and tell Manley about Shira. That little black boy was quite cooperative, so you need to be a man. Little way you talk about guy yard.
No, but man, right? But Michael and him there was a little understanding.
There was no understanding. So when him come tell Michael and call Shira black boy, and Michael turn up for Shira and say guy yard.
Who told you that story?
Me in the politics a long time. I'm a member of the PMP from.
No, you're not answering directly. I said who told you that story?
My elder PMP comrade them tell me.
Told you, but Michael never tell you that though.
No, Michael never tell you that.
Oh, because you tell lie for Michael. You tell lie for Michael.
Me not tell no lie. You not tell lie for him yesterday about him have the agreement with the rule about him scratchback and Ray.
I tell about scratchback or Roger Clark, me say I have back problem to himself.
Me not talk about no Roger Clark.
Are you smiling again?
So,
anyway, I have to go. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello. Morning, welcome.
Yes, sir, Jerry, morning.
Welcome, sir.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
You make your friend from South Manchester change up in voice for you.
Is him? I him? Who tell us is him?
I am, man.
No, man. You mean Shepherd? Shepherd?
Ah, your friend, man, your friend. Jerry, could you grant the permit for the march in Halfway Tree Farmer Center for a lot of that, the problem that we are going through now with the commission?
You ask me the same thing later. How you can link up? How you connect up them thing then?
All right, Jerry, I go and let's you.
No, you come for you come for draw a red herring across the trail. But anyway, we're going to come to Mr. Louie Marriott very soon, but let us get off some text messages here. Good morning. Oh yes. Good morning, Jerry. I wonder if the international partners can look into the case with that incident with the broke man, the broken leg man at the hospital the other day. What say you? Yes. They must look into that, yes. Broken leg man, police kill him. Now tell me now, why you couldn't why police couldn't what you call it, you know, incapacitate that man, make him can't move. If them even shoot him in him 2 leg, them shoot him in a 1 leg and say him still aggressive. Then why you don't shoot him in the other leg? Talk about 3 shoot him in a 1 leg and him still aggressive, you kill him. Rotten and stink, man. International partners. That is the latest buzzword. Everything you hear them talk about in that. Up to yesterday, I hear one of them say, when them ask Bunting some question about security, him not answer. You hear me now? It is well known in international partnership practice that you don't answer questions about security. So it's not only in Jamaica. Everything now is international. The latest argument them get that now, you know. The people tell them say the international partner say no. So you know that the fight between America and China in Jamaica getting more rigid because those international partners will exert certain influence in case China have more influence than them. And the PNP are try to play China get the East against the West. I don't know if the JLP do the same thing. Playing one against another. Playing both sides against the middle. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello? Morning. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Go ahead,
Hello?
please.
Hello?
Are you listening? Are you hearing?
Can I hear you?
Yes, are you walking?
No, I'm stationary.
And what is it? Are you outside in the open air?
No, I'm inside a building.
So what making that sound like breeze?
It's a fan, man. I want to turn it off.
Is one of your fan?
Yeah, man, one fan. The cooler place is hot.
Oh, go ahead, please.
All right. I want to ask you a question. The one question I have to ask you.
Yeah.
About the Commissioner of Police.
Yeah.
The visa thing, I just want to know, is it true that they revoke the visa, yes or no? Do you know anything about that?
Then if the Minister of Security don't answer you, the Commissioner don't answer you, and them lawyer don't answer you, how me? I am not the USA ambassador. How I going to answer you?
I just feel curious because everybody speaks, but nobody's speaking about that.
Everybody speaking about that. Everybody talking about that.
Yeah, but nobody won't give an answer then, that's what I mean. I just want to know yes or no.
The people who you ask, is it people who should know?
I don't know.
Alright. Has the Commissioner gone to the airport recently?
I don't know.
Well, try to find out that. If the Commissioner went to the airport and was going away and never get far. Yeah. Try and ask that question and call back and tell me the answer we get.
Alright, Mr.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will.
Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Good morning.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Blessed Bongo, Jerry.
Yes, man.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a while I'm not calling, but everything is good.
It's true.
Yeah. Hey, I would like you to discuss the cultural breakdown in the Jamaica society.
Give me a hint of which aspect you're talking about.
Because, okay, I want you to explain the difference between back then, in the early,
yeah,
what the culture was, the positives,
yeah,
and compared to now,
yeah,
the relationship between man and
between
man and woman.
Between what? Man and what?
Woman.
Yeah.
In the family relationship,
yeah,
and in the street level relationship, in the community relationship, in the gang relationship, these things have significance. Because back then there was a total different.
Alright, okay, alright. Alright, okay, that could take up our whole program. So alright.
Yeah, but I want you to more elaborate on this.
Yeah, but you tell me that already and I want to take the time now because I'm going to get my guests involved here now. But I'm just going to take one more call because my guest going to answer that question. You heard the question, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. He's very capable of it. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Morning, Jerry.
Yes, Garnet, Wagwan.
Well, I give thanks to the opening song this morning, you know.
Yes, sir. I had to accede to the request.
Yes, man. That one is dedicated to my friend Peter Bunting.
Yes, sir.
Who I once tried, I don't remember if it's earlier this year, you know.
Yeah.
I tried to save him from himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him social intervention is more the way to go and not sanitization.
Yes.
And him tell the host, say, I don't think for me to be lectured by a caller is the best use of my time.
Oh, you're arrogant though?
Yeah.
Or was arrogant?
Yeah. But
you know, if you sum up that, you the caller, you know, is the citizen.
Yeah.
And what you are talking about is justiciable rights.
Thank you.
So now for the citizen to have justiciable rights, is going to derogate from the sovereignty of the minister. Yes. So that is what David Cora was summing up.
I up to now, I still feel sorry for him because when I was telling him this, I wasn't the minister are anti-Peter Bunting, but his own arrogance.
Yes.
All right, give thanks. Little more.
Arrogate, you see?
Yeah.
Arrogate is the other side of derogate, you know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Mr. Louie Marriott. Louie Cullture. You ever hear about Louie Cullture?
Yes, I've heard the name.
Yes, it's a DJ, you know.
Yes.
Well, the person asked a question a little while, and I defer it to you because...
So I'm what? Louie Cullture the second?
No, the original. The original. No, well, answer the question, please.
Yeah, the thing is, people talk about culture loosely.
Yes.
And I think that most times when you hear the term culture, what they're really talking about is the arts.
Yes.
But you know, the culture is our entire heritage and what that makes of us.
Yeah.
And one of the problems that I have with cultural change in Jamaica is an area where there has been no change. And I'm talking about the Jamaican language. I have had a good deal to do with this question of the language because, of course, I work in the language,
yes,
or in working languages.
That is your what you call it, in what do you call it again?
My medium of communication.
Yeah, there's an next phrase. I soon get back to it.
Right, but
stock in trade. That's your stock in trade.
Yeah, indeed. But I have a very, very serious problem with the attitudes towards the Jamaican language. And you know, people talk all the while about Louise Bennett and what she contributed and, you know, the struggles that she had. But I want to draw attention to the fact, and I'm not downgrading Louise. I never would. I think she was a fantastic artist and person. And you know, I have nothing but good to say of her. But I have to say that it was only late in Louise's life that Louise actually spoke about the Jamaican language. She used to speak of dialect.
Yeah.
And the truth is, way back in 1920, what am I saying? Nonsense. 1970, the BBC commissioned me. This was the English by radio department of the BBC. Commissioned me to write a drama series, in which would deal with this question of language communication between Jamaicans, and incidentally they first started to talk about West Indians,
yeah,
and I pointed out to them that there were a number of West Indian languages, and you know, the Eastern Caribbean spoke something which was more homogeneous than the Jamaican.
Yeah.
And
homogeneous with English.
Yes.
And with one another. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, there is a in which people are very confused. People say, for instance, you know, English is the international language, and you know, it is a privilege to have been born in a society where English is the mother tongue.
Yeah.
And when you look at a dictionary, you just open a good dictionary, like say the Oxford Dictionary, good English dictionary, and look at words, and right throughout the dictionary they tell you about the derivation of words.
From which language and how recently.
Yeah. And that explained why the English language is such a faulty language, because there are no rules of English really. You know, when you boil it down to its essentials, there are no real rules.
Yeah. Not consistent.
The sequence of letters that go that goes O-U-G-H.
Yeah.
Do you know that there are 9 different pronunciations of that little sequence of letters? O-U-G-H.
Yeah.
Think about it, starting with bow, B-O-U-G-H. The next consonant beginning that sequence is cough. The next word. If you put in consonants before the O-U-G-H, you start with bow, that's an O sound. Then you look at cough, that's an off sound.
Yeah.
And then do,
Yeah.
U-U-G-H.
Yeah.
Right? Fought.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes on and on. It's
on and
quite
right?
inconsistent.
9 different pronunciations of that sequence. Now that is not a language.
By the way, the other thing, quickly another aspect of the culture that the person was asking to compare. The relationships, family relationships and so maybe before independence, 40s, 50s, as against the kind of lifestyle now and the norm now. Living relationship being very seemly, as although it was more common that time, was thought to be unseemly.
Yes, there's that too. But if I may, Jerry, I'd like to
stay
a little bit on this language issue, because to me it's extremely important. Well, you know, part of my living has to do with dealing with the languages. The BBC commissioned me to write this series, and I had to get a lot of help from a linguistic advisor, because the BBC itself, although it opened this question, didn't really understand it fully. But then in the way that they do things professionally, they had to get a language advisor to intervene. And he backed up my points because he understood. And he first of all, both the BBC and the language advisor ensured that everybody that worked on the series was respectful of the Jamaican language and not think of it as broken English or bad English.
Yes, a different language.
A different language.
All right, we have to go for a break. Welcome back to Straight Up. I'm here with my guest, Louie Marriott. Somebody asked a very relevant question, but it could take the rest of the time we have for Louie Marriott to exhaust his immediate thoughts on them. But that's one of the reasons why his autobiography, I think he should get on with it in earnest. Just work a little bit at it every day. A little bit at it every day. And I think we will cover so many of these questions just by you recounting your life and aspects of your life. And not only that, your autobiography should incorporate the Marriott family, because that's a family that has so many fingers in so many of Jamaica's pies, like for instance your daughter and language.
Yes. You're talking about my second daughter who completed her PhD at Glasgow University. And she, at no stage was she able to do, and by the way, the PhD thesis was on an aspect of the Jamaican language.
Yeah.
That's
the one that, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
She couldn't do it at any university in Jamaica, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But you know, these kinds of things are happening in Glasgow. There's another university in southern England where this is done. There is York University in Canada, in Toronto, where you can do, the degree courses are offered.
By the way, you're telling me something very interesting. A lot of people, they take press secretaries and ministers of information, or, well, not so much. They take various people that they see in certain roles as being maybe political hacks and so on. And some people might have even assumed that you are one such or came through such a route. How did you become the press secretary? How did Michael Manley engineer you into the press secretaryship? How did it go?
Michael didn't know until I was leaving his office. And he was telling me about some things I had to do the following year, and I said, but I won't be here, so he said, what do you mean? You know, it really took me. And I said, I'm on a contract with GIS, and they sent me to Jamaica House. But it was only temporary. And in fact, when I eventually applied for when I had to apply for the job, I had to go through the commission, the Public Service Commission, whatever they call it. But what had happened was that Claude Robinson had been interviewed. I was living in London when Claude was interviewed through the Services Commission and was offered the job and told them that he couldn't report for duty now, because he was an associate professor at Carleton University in Ottawa.
That's in the 70s, late 70s?
Early 70s.
Yeah.
And he
couldn't come immediately.
No, he couldn't come immediately. And they therefore needed somebody to fill the gap while it was existing. Yeah. And I happened to come from London, not knowing anything at all about this.
Yeah.
But I had finished my contract with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, which took me to London.
Yeah.
It was a 5-year contract. After I finished that, I spent 2 years working with the BBC, freelancing, and also I was on the staff of a new local radio department. The Radio London had just come in, and I had a program on Radio London, a weekly program.
What was the focus of that program?
That's interesting, because they wanted me to do a program which they had titled provisionally Black Londoners.
Yeah.
I refused to do it because I said I don't distinguish between races.
Londoners by color.
I mean, what do you want? They wanted to help Black Londoners to adjust to London, or to adjust to Britain. And I said that wasn't really a problem, because we acquired our systems from the British when we were colonies of Britain. And I didn't see that as a problem in the same way that it might be a problem for an Austrian to get adjusted to life in London or British society.
Yeah.
Yet they weren't having problems for Austrians, Black Londoners. And I said, no. My title would be New Londoners.
Yeah.
And it embraces everybody. But I'm not doing anything to do with race.
Yeah. By the way.
Yeah.
When you were just going to Jamaica College, Michael Manley was probably well settled in London after the war finished and that kind of thing. You think that the way that you and Michael Manley got on, and the good chemistry as a prime minister and a press secretary and a confidant, you think it was helped by the fact that both of you may have gone to the same school, Jamaica College and so on?
That's definitely so.
Yeah.
And in fact, more than that, we went through the same. He after his LSE.
Yeah, London School of
Studies.
Economics. Yes.
Yes, he went and worked with the BBC. External Services, and
like you,
just like I did.
And that prepared him for public opinion.
As freelancers.
That prepared him for public opinion.
Yes. And I also passed through public opinion, incidentally.
Yeah.
I was editor of public opinion.
I want to ask you, as I said, that now public opinion, bring me to 3 people that I want to ask you about, because you would have seen them up close in those times. Herbie Edwards, was he ever head boy of JC?
He was head boy when I went there.
Yeah, 46,
and
47.
What a pain that was.
Yeah.
I mean, 47.
I have a laugh.
In January 47.
I experienced it as my English teacher.
Yes.
Or was it painful?
Well,
Booger beating?
The truth is, no, the thing is, I don't know about your time, but when I was at JC, prefects could cane.
Could cane, yes.
And
corporal punishment.
It was the top 4 prefects.
Yes.
And I think they used to compete with each other to give the most painful strokes.
Yes, I think so. Because Edwards was legendary.
Yeah, the first one, and he was head boy.
Yes.
He would give you the first stroke.
Yes?
The deputy head boy would give you the second stroke.
Who was the deputy?
Don't remember.
Was
it Vince? Yeah. Vince, whose brother was killed by a stone thrown by another boy.
Oh, yes.
Not in anger.
Yeah.
Thrown playfully.
Yeah.
And somebody else. I could have been the victim of that incident, by the way. And my mother, when they heard the news on radio that a JC boy had been killed by another boy, by stones thrown by another boy, my mother was in tears because there was no name given, but she was certain that I threw the stone.
Yes. Because she knows I have mango hand.
I was an infamous little stone thrower.
Yeah, mango hand.
But anyway, so Edwards.
Yeah.
He was a terrorist.
Yes.
And there's no other way of putting it.
Yes.
And I remember once being in a tree, which I shouldn't have been because climbing trees was
near Hardy, which part of the school?
Near
Hardy.
No, it was down the
bottom field,
just beyond the driveway.
Oh, yes, yes.
On the bottom field side of the driveway. There was some divvy tree.
Yeah.
And I was up in the divvy tree. And we were playing, it was a friendly match against Priory.
Yeah.
Cricket match. And I told the boys that his nickname was Chabo.
Yes, Edward, yes.
And they started shouting.
You told the Priory boy?
Yes.
Yes, because they can't be punished, so that's the kind of
But
trick.
when he looked up, he saw me in the tree.
Yeah, you know that you were the mole.
I was in serious trouble.
Yes. So what did he do?
Well, he ordered me down from the tree, naturally. And then he gave me some lines.
Yes.
And I never
Couple hundred
to do lines, yes.
Right, you know.
And it was really ridiculous.
Tell the people what giving lines are.
Alternate letters, pen and pencil.
Yeah.
Lines are what they use
punishment.
An imposition, a punishment for usually for minor misdemeanors.
Yeah.
And
you have to write out the same sentence over and over.
Well, we didn't get them like that actually. What we got was probably harder. Like they would give us a book to write some lines from.
Transcript.
Yes, to do a transcript. But then, to make it more difficult, you make it alternate words, pen and pencil.
Yes.
So you have to
one word in pen,
word,
next
put
down the pen.
Next word is pencil.
Yeah, but it get worse.
Will it get worse than that? Alternate letters.
Yes. So B-O-O-K. You write B in pen. So then O in pencil.
Yes.
O in pen, K in pencil. What a wicked thing, man.
And it could take you 2 days to write this imposition.
But anyway,
whereas you had only 24 hours in which to
hand it in.
When it was not delivered, as it was in most cases with me, then it's doubled.
Yeah,
so
doubled.
Instead of 200 lines, you know, have 400.
In the same 24 hours. Listen here. Eniva, was Eniva ever head boy?
Before my time.
So Eniva was before Edward?
Oh yes, long before. Because
no, Eniva, no man, both of them were similar years.
No.
Oh yeah?
No.
Oh yeah?
Eniva had gone to McGill.
Yes, in Canada, yes.
Studied.
Yeah, and come
back as a junior master.
And Edward later went to McGill too?
Well, I didn't know this.
Okay. But the other thing is this now. I'm going to come to John Maxwell, but we're going to come back to Edwards. John Maxwell, he left and went to Calabar, or he left Calabar?
No, he left Calabar.
And came to JC, yes.
Came to JC.
But he was there contemporary you.
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, he was in the form about me, and he got a nickname because of me.
Yeah,
because of something he had done. Because John couldn't jump. I don't think he could jump more than 4 foot in high jump. He wasn't a high jumper.
Yeah.
And I was over 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
And in a friendly football match, I went up to head a ball.
Yeah.
And John jumped over my head, kicking at the ball. Nearly kicked me in my head.
Why?
Yeah. So they said he was a wild man from Borneo. And from then he was Borneo.
Yeah, the wild man from Borneo was a famous like the abominable snowman kind of thing. Yes. Almost a mythical. But look here now, Edwards later as a master at JC, he carried out another kind of terrorism, but a kind that we might approve.
Heart.
Tell us about it.
Heart.
Yes, heart.
You mean when he shot?
Yes.
And the heart got shot.
Yeah.
Well, now, HCW Chambers, Hugo Winston Carl Chambers, was an expert rifle shooter.
You know what happened? We're going to go for a break. I don't want you to be interrupted.
Represented Jamaica.
Yes, welcome back to Straight Up. We have our guest here, Louie Marriott, full of interesting accounts and slants and light, shedding some light. Now, at Jamaica College, like at many other places, an emergency is signaled by the ringing of the bell at an hour that it is not expected. So once you hear the bell ringing at an unscheduled time, that's a fire drill.
That's right.
And what used to happen? Some guys started to play a prank.
That's right, and thought it was funny. And we got this.
What was the prank that they played?
They rang the bell.
They used to come up at night. They used to drive them father car come up here.
Yeah,
some rich Jamaican.
Along the driveway.
Rich Jamaican or poor Jamaican?
Rich usually, because
to
not
drive.
many poor people had cars,
yes.
You know, let alone have their sons drive them.
Yeah.
And this used to happen especially when JC played some game against another school, football, usually football, and beat them.
Yeah.
And their revenge was to come up there and ring the bell, kind of thing.
So it wasn't JC boys?
No, often JC boys came up and did this as a prank. And H.C. Chambers, that's Hugo Chambers, who was a really very, very excellent rifle shooter.
Great shot, yeah.
Yeah, and represented Jamaica at Bisley, the great international rifle shooting.
Yeah.
H.C. one night when prankster came, I think this was somebody from another school, and he came out with his rifle when they rang the bell and shot at the tires, the rear tires, and flattened both of them.
Yeah, flattened both tires, yeah.
Yeah, and he came out with his smoking gun and said, "Next time it won't be the tires."
Yeah.
So now, this was a legendary story. And Edwards had heard this story and decided one night that he was going to play this.
Chambers is the headmaster and Edwards is a junior master.
Well, no. Edwards was when that happened, Edwards was head boy. Or he was a boy.
I think it wasn't when he was a junior master.
No. It wouldn't have been.
Yes, man, he was a junior master, man. It was in the early 50s.
No, I mean when Chambers did it.
Yeah, Chambers did it, when Edwards was a schoolboy.
That's right.
Now, years later, Edwards is now a junior master. Yeah,
and he decides that he's going to play the Chambers role.
Because some JC boys had been coming up there and doing the same thing.
That's right. And then on the particular night, Edwards saw them before they rang the bell.
Yeah.
And one of the boys apparently had a bad relationship with Edwards.
Yeah, JC boy.
A JC boy. His name was Hart.
Yeah, from the Hart family.
Yes. Hart, I can see you. I know you're there. Don't ring that bell.
Yes.
Right? They went and they rang the bell. And Edwards fired a shot.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through the tires. It went through the boot of the car.
Yeah, it bounced up off the asphalt.
I don't know, and it went somehow.
And come up into the back seat.
Lodged into Hart's bottom.
Yes. The Hart, Stevie Wonder have a piece of music, and I think we're going to play at 11 o'clock.
So he was charged with some very serious crime, like attempted murder or something. And Norman Manley defended Hart. And, defended Edwards.
Yeah.
And he was given some minor.
Yeah, Norman Manley, as a JC old boy, as the greatest lawyer at the time, defended Edwards and he got off.
Yes.
But he had to leave the school still.
Who, Edwards?
Edwards, he left the school.
I don't know. But
for a couple of years. He left for a couple of years.
I wasn't at school then.
And came back. I think he worked with one of the, yes.
I think he became headmaster at some rural school.
No, yes, Manning's. He went to Manning's after, yes.
That's right.
Now, tell me something now. Manley, after 1980 election, and you gave an anecdote of how Manley was moved to tears by the violence coming up to the election.
Yeah.
I and many other people saw that if Manley had won that election by some chance, if the CIA and many other people never tipped the scale and he had won that election, maybe Manley would have followed Bishop's fate.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because the far left in the party had the same disposition as the far left in Bishop's party in Grenada. And Manley might, look here, don't you know that part of the Marxist-Leninist tactic is to use the broad masses and the popular movements as a front to reach certain place, and then afterwards you jettison those retrograde leaders?
I didn't think of them. I was thinking more that CIA would have got rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have lasted.
But the CIA might well have got into the Bishop far left and maneuvered certain things. I don't know, but
they operated in very devious ways.
Yeah.
Really.
But one thing I know is that Bishop had started making rapprochement with America, much as Gaddafi did. And some of the far left was not amused with that and decided to move against him. Fidel Castro said to them, leave him alone and let him repair fences with America. Surprisingly. But anyway, back to the 70s now. The 70s were really hectic. A lot of things took place. A lot of progress and a lot of bad decisions. Do you think so?
Yes, indeed. You know what is very interesting? I have on videotape an interview with Dwight Nelson.
Yeah.
And one with Pernell Charles.
As unionists? As trade unionists?
Well, in the case of Dwight Nelson, it really started as an interview with somebody who was in our tribalistic setup.
Yeah.
Here was a GLP leader who was the deputy chairman of the Michael Manley Foundation.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes.
What years were those? 80s?
No, man.
No. Michael died 97.
97, right.
So it must have been in the 2000s.
Late 90s.
No, the foundation started in 99. So it must have been in the 2000s.
Then, no, from then he was...
Oh, yeah, from the beginning? Oh, yeah.
No.
As a trade unionist?
Deputy chair, yeah.
He
wasn't deputy chair yet, but he was a member of the foundation. In fact, he's one of the signatories on the memorandum, the article of association.
Of association, yeah.
Right? And I remember my shock when I just went to the foundation, and there is Dwight standing up in the midst of the whole trade union fraternity, including the BITU and its affiliates.
Yeah.
And he's beating his chest saying, I'm a Michael Manley fan with no apology.
Yeah.
You know, I really said to myself, what is this? You know, can you do this?
Yeah.
So in the interview, I asked him, how come in our tribalistic setup, he was the deputy chairman of the Michael Manley Foundation? And he said that, he said a number of things, but one of them was that Michael, well, first of all, Michael wasn't a tribalist, okay, and he had this very good relationship with you, Sharon.
Yes.
And mostly it's trade union wing of the GLP, which was the BITU people.
Yeah.
You know, and he said that when he was asked to join the foundation, he went to Sharon and said to Sharon, they've asked me to be a member of the Michael Manley Foundation. What do you think?
Yeah.
And Shearer said to him, if I ever hear that you were invited to join a foundation that was dedicated to preserving the heritage of Michael Manley, and you refused, you would have to come and explain to me why.
Yeah.
You know? So, things are not as...
No, because there are giant bargaining and a lot of cooperation in the trade union movement.
Yeah.
A lot of camaraderie.
One of the things he said was that the very first occasion on which he saw Michael at work was a sort of round table involving the workers' representatives and the employers' representatives.
Yeah.
And he said that Michael did a presentation that lasted about 90 minutes outlining the views of the trade union movement. And he said that he learned more about this issue of industrial relations in that 90 minutes that he heard than he heard for the remaining 30-odd years of his career as a trade unionist.
Yeah. Well, that's great. But back to the 70s with the 4 minutes that we have here. Lot of turmoil, lot of because when you have a spirit in a country of people really developing the country and turning things around and nation building, it releases a lot of energy, both positive and negative.
Yes.
By the way, Michael Manley actually, as you reminded me, said there are 2 flights a day, and if you can leave, to remind us of that. How did 2 turn to 5?
Okay, what Michael said was, and there's so many really bizarre, what is the word I want?
But anyway,
of the speech,
yes,
right? Because what he said was, and I'm going to remind the Jamaican public of this, what Michael said was, for all who want to get rich overnight on the backs of the Jamaican people, I have a simple message for you. There are 2 flights a day to Miami.
Yeah.
When you read, if you Google 5 flights a day or whatever you choose to Google, you read some bizarre, nonsensical distortions of what he said.
Yeah.
Most of them saying that if you disagree with his policy, or if you go into the mountain top with Fidel, and if you disagree, take one of the 5 flights. He never said that. And by the way, it became 5 flights because I understand that Sylvia Lee, who was a Gleaner reporter, realized that what he was talking about was 2 Air Jamaica flights, but there were actually 5 flights a day because you had Pan Am, you had Eastern Airlines, you had American Airlines, and so on. And she changed it to 5 flights a day.
Because there were actually 5 flights available.
There were 5 flights.
Yeah.
But the substance of what he said was, for all who want to get rich overnight on the backs of the Jamaican people.
Go to France.
And I can't see anything wrong with that.
No, go to France.
You know?
Yeah, but this is how legends and fables are built, and even heroics are enhanced and that kind of thing. Yeah, so
you'd asked me a question about Monty Perkins, and well, no, I was telling you about how I came to be.
Yeah, you call your comrade for
instance.
Yes.
I came to be press secretary. It was all done through the government service. In fact, Hartley Nita was the one who suggested me, and when I came home at the end of 72.
You have a JC boy thing going on there with Hartley Nita.
Hartley, yes, come to think of it. By the way, I told Hartley this and he couldn't understand. But when small boys at JC in my time misbehaved, and he had left school only the term before I went. He left at the end of 46 and I went at the beginning of 47. And I remember hearing this many times when I was reckoned to be out of order. Boy, you think if Nita was still there, you could do a thing like that?
I tell you.
Which amazed me because Hartley was such a
mild-mannered. Afterwards, many people were terrorized at school. After that, they're quite benign, you know.
Yeah.
Well, look here, we have to go to the 10 a.m. headline news. The 11 a.m. headline news. You'll still be here. We're going to go on with the program, but from time to time, we're going to call on you, Louie Marriott. Welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. Going into the 3rd hour of the program, 11th hour of the day. And we have our guest, Louie Marriott here. He has given us more than 2 years full, but it's so interesting. And I want him back here at least 3 times before independence, or leading up to independence, around independence, emancipation. Now I'm going to make him guess me this riddle. Guess me this riddle and perhaps not. Fervet opus in campis.
When we shoot, we never miss.
No, louder than that, man.
When we shoot, we never miss.
Yeah, that's Jamaica College Cheer. Fervet opus in campis.
When we shoot, we never miss.
When
we cheer
yes.
like this.
So H.C. Chambers, I'm going to make Stevie Wonder do the cheer. But H.C. Chambers, the headmaster, had fire warning shot after some boys who invaded the school in a car and rang the bell in the 40s. He fired 2 shots into front and rear tire, flattening the tires, and warned them next time it won't be the tires. When we shoot, we never miss. Now, Edwards was the head boy at the time, and he decided to emulate it. About 8 years later, in about 1954, 55, 56, Edwards, as a junior master, came up against some boys like that. One of them, a JC boy, Hart, came up to the school, did the same thing.
With whom he had differences.
He had differences before. Now, Edwards fired shots, and you say, where did the shot lodge instead of in the tire?
In his buttocks.
In Hart's bottoms. Well, let's hear from Stevie Wonder, because he made a music about that. Because it's no hard feelings. Stevie Wonder, let's go.
No New Year's Day to celebrate. Not mean it from the bottom of my heart.
You talk about from the bottom of your heart. I'd feel it in the bottom. But I used to tease my children about this music here. You know. Was it the late 80s or it was the 90s?
I don't know.
Because anyway, I was telling them that some of the songs that certain guys were singing, when you think it's a girl them singing about, it might be a boy. And it might mean that him and he mean it from the heart of him bottom and all them with it. I used to tease them though, because some of them used to love Michael Jackson, and I said it ain't necessarily so. When him and one of the Beatles did sing a music about she is
Paul McCartney.
no, but it's me. I'm the one she loved. Both of them compete. What's the name again? Anyway, two of them singing and said the girl loved. That girl is mine. And then the other one said, no, that girl is mine, and so on. Anyway, we're going to play two pieces of music from the 70s that painted a picture. Both have staying here and now leave here and going away and all them way. Just a little piece of the message from Mr. Martin, who this was a signature music of the 1976 campaign. A little piece of the message.
My father Banya, my father Banya, let the youth them with the pioneer force, them with the pioneer force.
Yes, man, and Neville Martin is there listing out all of the projects, a lot of positive things. But Louis Marriott going to remind us of the context in which this music was introduced during the 1976 campaign.
Yes. Actually, Neville Martin was introduced to Michael.
Close to the mic. Close to the mic. Yeah.
Before that big meeting in Montego Bay, when he announced the 76 election, and he came on stage, and it was pure electricity when he sang that song, because the radio stations had just begun playing it at the time, and then here is this fellow now live. And living color. Yeah.
And then now, a lot of programs, a lot of vital and good progress was made in the 70s, a lot of great positive programs. But there were things contrasting. Firstly, the tune started out My Father Born, because they were juking Siaga, who was not born in Jamaica. But they didn't mention that Dudley no born in either.
Dudley Thompson.
Yeah, Dudley no born, yeah. And plenty more.
He was born in Panama.
Never came here till he was 12 years old. As the chief rival of Siaga. In the tribal war of the 60s and 70s. And the next thing now, that's the state of emergency and the circumstances surrounding it. It cast a pall over the election. It wasn't so pretty.
Yes, but guess what? I don't know that it cast such a pall over the election. I know that it was used by the anti-Michael Manley forces afterwards, saying that it was a ploy to lock up JLP supporters. Before the election. But the fact is, there was a great public demand for a state of emergency.
The things that were happening.
Yes.
Lot of sabotage.
Horrendous. Really horrendous stuff.
Alright, on the other hand now, Green Bay. It can't be said that Michael and Dudley innocent about Green Bay.
Well, I don't know, you see. I know that Dudley said afterwards that no angels were killed at Green Bay.
Not only that, him said there were some mad dogs.
Remember, the security forces are the ones who drew attention to the conditions at the time. And I don't know.
Now, what were the conditions?
The same thing that we're talking about, like killings and so on.
No, that is vague. Hear me now. Green Bay was set up. They were set up and baited. And were drawn out. They were drawn out of South Side. By military officers, because how the plan worked, they couldn't use the police. They couldn't entrust it to the police. They had to use the MIU, Military Intelligence Unit, and other military operatives. And they drew out people and carried them and executed them and concocted a story that the opposition was training man to overthrow the government. And the whole thing blew up. Matter of fact, M.G. Smith, what school did he go to?
JC.
M.G. Smith, he was a MI6 operative.
Yes, I heard.
Yes,
and I heard Brian Meeks.
Yes,
was the one who
MI6 operative, a British intelligence of the highest order, and he helped to concoct that whole plan, and to help to deliver, because he told Michael that you're going to need at least 15 years to transform this country, but with the pattern of election victories, you're only going to get 2 terms. To get the 15 years a third term, you have to do some machinations and Machiavelli things, and he helped to concoct that thing.
Sorry, I said Brian Meeks. It wasn't Brian Meeks who.
Bobby Hill.
Bobby Hill.
Robert Hill.
Brian was the chairman of it.
All right, let's hear from Pluto Shervington. Pluto Shervington, another contrast here.
One more Jamaican gone abroad. One more disciple leave the yard. It's no bad at all. But
Yes, as Pluto chorus would say 5 flights a day to Miami don't mean a thing to this man. Well, he didn't take one of the 5 flights to Miami. He went to Canada. But he did come back. But Louie, I'm going to ask about 2 people, maybe 3. Just reminiscing. Dennis Daly. How it go?
Well, I didn't know Dennis all that well, but he was in a play which was quite remarkable. A play written by Sylvia Winter.
Is this at a school, boy?
No, he was actually I think he was a professional lawyer by that time.
Yes,
but
yes,
there were
yeah.
some very strange people in that cast.
Or thespians. Yeah.
What happened was that Sylvia came from Britain with this notion of our being a country that was starved of good theatre.
Yes, yes.
And she and her husband, her then husband, Jan Carew, came to
from Guyana.
That's right, to correct the situation.
Yes, yes.
Jan was a novelist, of course, but he was here in the role of a director.
Yes, yes.
And I think there was some tension between them, as a matter of fact.
Marital tension,
he was handling the work.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. Professional, yes.
Yes. And Dennis was one of these very unusual people.
Yeah.
What I think happened is that Sylvia had a combination of, in the cast, a combination of people who had some experience in theatre.
Yeah.
And some who brought money to
the
production.
Yes, yes.
And Dennis was one of those who brought money to it. So that I didn't have much to do with him, you know. But I was quite impressed by his.
Yeah, but you'd asked me earlier that I about something that I had been saying about Dennis Daly. That caught your interest.
No, I was just wondering if something had happened to him.
He's gone. His funeral was Tuesday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's born the year same year.
You know, I'm midway between 2 houses, one that I used to live at and one that I now live in.
Yes.
And we're basically working out of boxes.
Yes, yes. So therefore you can't follow the news. Next person I want to ask about. Mitzi Townsend.
Oh, no, I can tell you about Mitzi.
Good.
I can tell you about Mitzi and her son, Errol.
Yes, I was wondering if you know Errol good.
Oh, very well.
That's great.
Very well.
Yes, Boots, is you that.
When I went into the Caribbean Thespians in 1955,
yes.
Mitzi was a very active member of the Thespians.
Yes.
And of course she was not quite a generation, but almost a generation before me.
Yes.
And we did a lot of work together, and she was, you know, very, very dedicated, very professional in her approach. In many ways, you know, we were more professional then, when nobody was paid in theatre, than we are now when people are getting fees. You know, things like punctuality, discipline, work on, you know, on
professionalism. Yes.
Yeah, there was more professionalism than I did.
Even though you were unpaid.
We weren't just unpaid. We also financed the production, because you know, when you take a taxi, I used to leave JBC where they paid me as sound effects man.
Yeah.
And I trained other people to do sound effects, and used to take a taxi from JBC. Maybe I'd set them up before recording.
Yes.
And took a taxi down to rehearsal.
Yeah.
This was part of the course.
Yeah. Tell me a little more about Mitzi and Errol.
Now, Mitzi's husband was a sportsman, George Townsend.
George Townsend, yes.
Who was also a great friend, I believe, of Seeley.
Theodore Seeley.
A number of people at the
yes.
So Errol was kind of being looked at by them from then as a
young journalist. And he has been a sports life writer from teenage days with Foggy Ball.
And as far as I know, Errol never worked for the Greener.
Yeah.
Like myself, he was a kind of maverick, you know, who was looking for alternatives.
Yes.
But he was very good, very good material.
Yes.
Because he played games for Monroe, hockey in particular.
Yeah.
And he was very serious also about his craft.
Yes.
He actually worked with me when I was editing Public Opinion.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes. And very, very good. And the thing about Errol now is that whenever Errol comes to Jamaica, he finds me very.
Yeah.
Oh yes, and he took me to Champs last year.
Oh yeah.
Last year, this year.
Yeah.
This year. And this was the first time that I was going to Champs for years. I usually watch it on television. There are advantages, of course, in watching on TV.
Yeah.
You get slow-mo after.
You
can replay.
Yeah.
You only see it once when you go to the meet, you know.
But Mitzi, apart from being a theater person, she was also a API or GIS person.
She was
a director.
JPI.
API.
JPI.
GIS.
GIS. She was a GIS.
Was she head of it?
No.
No, she wasn't there.
Never was.
And she was at JBC too. Was she at JBC?
Not as far as I know. I mean, she would appear in radio plays. You know, doing parts in Shadows of the Great House and this kind of thing, and JBC Radio Theatre. But she was not.
One thing now, Pernell Charles now. After the state of the emergency, Pernell, you say, got to get a chance to buttonhole Michael Manley about his being detained.
Right. And Michael showed him the evidence that he had got from the security forces.
Yeah.
And said to him, "No, Pernell, if let us reverse places.
The roles,
what would you have done if you were in my position and got a report like that?"
Give me an instance of some of the evidence.
No, I wasn't privy to that. He wasn't. Oh, well.
What about his speech?
Yes, of course.
What about his speech?
The speech that Pernell was said to have made.
Yeah.
That he wants to be able to stay here in Trenchtown.
Yeah.
Right? And see half a tree clock tower.
As a result of the place being flattened.
Yes. And
after the place had been flattened, can stay at Trenchtown and see half a tree clock tower.
And he said when Michael showed him the evidence that he had, and said, "Well, what would you do if you were in my position?" Reverse the role. And Pernell said to him, "I'll lock up your backside."
All right, so it's quits then. It's quits. A half and half.
But he also said, Pernell also said, because Michael, I wasn't in Jamaica when the Revere
backside thing
took place.
Yes.
But I know that Michael wrote in a voice, wrote about it in a voice at the workplace.
Yeah.
And I would have thought that if what Michael wrote was not true, that Pernell would have sued him.
Legal action.
Would have sued him.
But you know they clashed down at Alpart. You know them clashed down at Alpart in 1969. Gunshot from both sides.
Yes.
Pernell fire him gun.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, man, Pernell fire him gun and
then a fellow named
Mosvine. Yes, what?
I heard Michael once in a speech on a platform saying something about Mosvine, who took the bullet from him.
Yes.
This fellow Mosvine.
Yes. In the way.
In the way.
Yes.
He was I think he was an NW staff member or something.
Yeah, man, and fed him up on them, man. Right. Fed him up on Mr. Blake, what him name, Borry Boy. And all them man the Vinny. Some of Michael shotgun, them ride shotgun for Michael. The companeros of the garrison. Alright, let's go to some text messages. Hi Jerry, please explain the role that the Lindo and Lake family play in slavery, and why land in Lloyd's Vale was taken from Yandy Bolas and given to the Clark family, Betty from Bagwalk. We have to go into that when we have more time. Today is a special day when Louis Marriott is in house here. Next one, please send. Really and truly now, we're going to get back to this Bethune from Bagwalk. Please send happy birthday greetings to Angie Gordon from Ginger Hill, St. Elizabeth. Coming from girlfriend Kim, girlfriend Nikki, mom, sisters and friend. A pair of young people named them, you know, Kim and Nikki and Angie. So that shows the young people listening to straight up. Boy, what a compliment. Birthday greeting to Angie Gordon here from girlfriend Kim, Nikki, mom and sisters and friend. Next one. Good morning, Uncle Jerry. What happened to Jamintel? You and him fall out? No, well, we don't fall out with nobody, no. Jamintel call when him feel like call. Next one. Morning, Jerry. Bruce Golden is on JamaicaGleaner.com today, seemingly upset with the U.S. Just reminding that he drove away, left us, so he must keep on driving. Next one. Good morning, Jerry. Don't you think Daryl Vaz could ask Kern to introduce him to that good Obia man of his coming from Joy Olaba? Boy, you're more better informed than me, you know. You are better informed than me. Next one. Jerry, for the doctors and nurses fear for their life. They don't care for the patients. The health system in Jamaica is poor. I mean, that's why they're not talking, the doctors and nurses? I don't know. Next one. Hi, Jerry, please play a track from Imaki that I gave you at Red Bones for my lady that you met in halfway tree at the march. Her name is Christine Bethune from Bogwalk. Oh, Bethune from Bogwalk. And just send a text. Oh, Christine Bethune. Okay. I forgot to trace back that. A lot of music I have to play, and I do intend to play them. Next one. Jerry, sometimes the nurses and doctors keep quiet about police killings and other people. That is why they are afraid when they are under attack by any violent force and call police. They might delay responding or just don't respond. What a message, Jamaica. All this what you're saying is true. Next one. Good morning, Jerry. Do you have any update on Miss Grange health? No. Good while I don't hear about Babs Grange health. No. Next one. What about Howard Cook's? What are Howard Cook's tangible and meaningful contributions? Saw a man working for a man working who seemed not able to fix his missing teeth, full of praises for him, like any court jester. We have to expect and demand more from all these people. The bar is set too low. Before we leave, we might get a comment on Howard Cook's life from Louis Marriott, but we're going to take your phone calls. Next one. Jerry, why is that caller trying to disguise his name? Coming from Howard. Not his name, I'm trying to disguise him voice. Let's go for a break and come back straight up. Yes, good morning and welcome back to Straight Up. Hello? Good morning, hello, good morning, welcome.
Yes, sir, how you doing?
Wagwan.
Yeah, man, you know, in the interest of fairness, you don't think you should have get somebody from the other side. You have this dude there, try to sanitize Michael Manley legacy, you know what I mean? When you have these kind of people come on for your program, and it's really boring too, you know what I mean? Yeah, you don't get somebody from the other side too, you know?
What we can do, I can ask you, can we do a telephone interview with you or you can fly down?
No, but I come with you because it's me. I don't care not about no PNP and no labor right.
No, but you could have balanced the thing.
Because none of them, the two of them full of you know what. But you know, it's the interest of fairness.
No, Louis Marriott have a well. Listen here now. Louis Marriott have a listen. You hear me? Louis Marriott have a wealth of experience and angles and things, and we don't done with him yet. We can't done with him until him come at least 3 more times.
Yeah, my boy, I'm just on one side.
But him can't go. But him can't test it. Listen here. Listen here.
You know, you're just leaning or whatever. You know.
All right. What is my leaning? All right. What is my leaning? Me, Jerry. What is my leaning?
You know, the taste. But you say the taste of the pudding is in the eating.
No, me say Jerry. No. What is Jerry leaning?
Jerry, man, it's obvious.
No, tell me what it is. You're afraid? You Magic Jack afraid?
You think people that dumb?
Hold on, alright, tell me what I'm leaning now and come.
You really think people that dumb? Oh my God.
Look here. No, one more time I ask you. One more time I ask you. What is Jerry leaning?
Jerry leaning?
Yeah.
It's obvious.
What is the obvious thing?
I mean, even where you are right now.
No, me say, what is the obvious?
The command for the program of trying to sanitize Michael Manley.
I say, what is the obvious thing?
Oh, come
what
on,
is the
man.
obvious?
Do better than that.
No, we're wasting time. You do better than that. Next call must be better. Louis, what do you want to say?
No, I was going to ask if you noticed what I did.
Yeah.
I spoke about it, Dwight Nelson, for instance, what Dwight Nelson told me.
Yeah.
You're going to quarrel with Dwight and say, Mr. Comrade? You know,
no, this
how
brother.
Colonel said.
This brother, one man will take 105 flight, you know. That's why I call him Magic Jack, you know.
Okay.
He's a Magic
so what,
Jack.
He wanted to get rich overnight on the backs of the Jamaican people?
So that him doing it on the back of the American people now.
Okay.
Him getting rich on the back of the American people. Let's go to some next phone call. Good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello. Good morning, welcome, Straight Up, hello. Go ahead.
Good morning, Jerry.
Go on.
Yeah, man. Some breaking news coming on CNN that a Malaysian airline was found crash.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are saying that the plane was shut down and whole heap of things going on.
What else again?
And the German, the lady in charge, the German.
Merkel or something, so.
Yeah. She's celebrating her birthday today.
Oh, yeah, sir. All right, cool.
60th birthday.
True?
Yeah, man.
All right, cool now.
Yeah, man, look more.
5 call a day, Wilson getting to Miami. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello?
Hello, Beth.
Yes, sir, what go on?
Well, I'm there with a vibe.
Yeah.
You want to talk to Louie?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Louie, you used to sit down beside in the theater inside, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, Tom Stokes.
Oh, yes, uh-huh.
Yeah, me meet the other day after 3.
Yes, indeed, I remember.
Yeah. But I tell you, just listen to you alone, bring back some days, and, you know what I mean, it's a refreshing thing to hear your voice, but Jerry, at the carver, we always call you from St. James, going on Cambridge way there.
Come again?
No, in the carver bridge, we always call you from St. James, going towards living near Cambridge end.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mr. Tell Louie Marriott, say, even though I can remember when Louie Marriott line, I didn't play with him right, you know.
Yeah.
Me ever remember, anytime Mr. Louie remember.
Oh, yeah,
the guy, Glenn Campbell said to the woman, you got him some puckering of her lips and the folds of her bosom, the essential contours of her belly, her hip, her thigh. Do you remember the line, Louie?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Office Chase.
Yeah, Office Chase, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we also know every line that you play. Me and you remember that Brown?
Uh-huh. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We used to turn at the theater with
that
you
Brown
every day.
now a painting contractor.
You know what I mean?
That Brown learned to paint.
It's good to see you up the other day, and it's good to hear from you again, you know, and we just say, live up, my friend.
Yeah, that Brown whom you mentioned learned to paint. Painting my sets. He's now a big painting contractor in the United States. I think he's in the
yeah. I've done it since the 80s.
Well, thank you very much, dear sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello?
Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, yeah, your co-hosts are very interesting, you know, very knowledgeable, and, you know, he enlightened me a bit, you know. But there's one thing that really got me attention, is about we're talking about our culture and our dialect, our language, our language. You know, and some time ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, you know, I came across a newspaper from England, you know, that stated that there is Jamaican language that is taught in university in England. And, you know, and I was so, you know, blown over when it comes to that, because, you know, for a lot of Jamaicans who belittle our language and look down on our language, say Butu languages and all of those things.
The same set of people.
It made me feel good when I saw that. And with him, the gentleman that you have there, you know, coming on and endorsing that again, you know, it made me feel really good, because our language is unique.
It is. And not only that, the thing is,
I feel very good about that.
When you read
they had a take, and much respect, my brother, your co-host. He had a take with me out. Last time watching All Angle, you know. And to be honest with you, I change my station and go Al Jazeera, I go watch the station, you know, because boy, you see, some of these people that promote them agenda, you know, Bridget, and me I tell you, say, you know, me not want all my youth all watch it, you know, although probably you know have a clear understanding about the whole musical aspect, but you know, with the body languages and all of those things, up to the other female, them beside out do, you know, my brother. Trust me. So,
no, I'm not.
You know, I don't think that we're running from, that is my view. We are running from those kind of things, you know, sending mixed signal and negative.
You hear me, caller? Just allow Louie to respond, and thank you very much. Yes, sir, because we're going to go to our next call. Yeah, man, thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for your thoughts. When you read the dictionary definitions of language, you would have to conclude that ours is much more a language than English. You know, it talks all the time about systematic.
Yeah.
You know, it's the word systematic and system. But I'm not for one moment suggesting that we should displace English with Jamaican. Well, what I'm saying is, first of all, English language is so affected by other languages, by adaptations and the grammar. They bring the grammar with the words that they take into their language, and it causes more exceptions than rules. Our language has a set of rules. There's a book called Jamaican Creole syntax by a great Jamaican grammarian, Barry Loftman Bailey. If you can get hold of a copy of that, you will see what I'm talking about. Ours is a phonetic language. I had a guest from Spain once who came over when my daughter was studying in Spain, the linguist one. She brought this fellow over for summer holidays, and I gave him a copy of Beryl Loftman Bailey's Jamaican Creole syntax to read, some Jamaican dialogue in it. And if I gave my actors, say in radio theater, those passages to read, they wouldn't be able to read it at all, because of the corruption of their understanding.
Yes.
But he read it and didn't understand a word he was reading.
All right. Let's go to the next call. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Good morning, Jerry.
Yes. Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm not bad at all.
Yes, sir.
To which of the political party you lean?
Me lean?
Uh-huh.
I don't lean. I straight up.
Straight up.
What do you think?
I hear you conducting quite a reasonable program, a balanced program.
Yeah.
And I am surprised that a man, the previous caller.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Maybe you wanted to hear a political hack, somebody who is spouting.
JLP
political.
Him say I must hurry up and bring somebody from the other side to balance Louie, so I was inviting him. Because I know he could more than compensate, but...
No, but Louie, I don't know the man personally. I have never met him. I just know of him.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, the man has a lot of history which he is now imparting, and I am enjoying it.
Yes, and Louie, I mean, know Louie a long time. And as Louie told the Michael Manley, didn't even realize how Louie got the job with him as Michael Manley didn't even know. So there was no connection. And when he was leaving, him never want Louie leave, and him couldn't entice Louie. Okay. Thank you very much. Here, sir.
Yes, you have a good day here, sir. Continue doing what you're doing.
Well, I want
it. We in Radio Land, people like myself, like the way in which you conduct your program. I mean, to me, you're not leaning anywhere. Yeah. You're just speaking your mind, and that is part of the whole democratic process.
Yes, I have to take leave here now, because I have to rush up to the hospital. Or my bandage for me to get loose, and I need to tighten it up.
There are JLP politicians that I quite admire.
Yeah.
There's a fellow named Stafford Horton, for example, in Manchester.
In Manchester, yeah.
When Stafford is a racing man.
Only after 30 seconds,
car racing man. And when I told Stafford wrote to Michael to ask him to be a sponsor of some event to the motor racing thing. And I said, no, you shouldn't, because we have restrictions on imports of fuel. At least we don't
quickly.
And he agreed, and I told Stafford.
Told Michael.
I told Stafford that
don't do it.
I advised the Prime Minister not to do it because of the thing. And he was very understanding, and I was quite impressed by the way in which he received this thing.
Didn't last long in politics, though.
And I never...
The most decent ones don't last long. But their time will come. Yeah. Let's go for a break till our time comes. Straight up.
News Talk 93 FM. Heard everywhere.